Hello. I came on because I want to discuss about what is currently happening today. Since we are still in the middle of the pandemic, and it's been almost a year now since this situation has happened to our world. And I just want to say that when the pandemic first broke out, or when it first actually took place or expand across the world, it was a moment of shock and disbelief. Because the thoughts that was going through my mind was, is this for real? Or is this something that just came up, that occurred, and it's just something that's gonna kind of like blow right past? But when I kept hearing the news and having discussions on it and seeing how serious it was, that's when I thought to myself, like, okay, this is really not a joke. This is for real. Like, not so much the news, because we all wasn't sure about what was going on. Even when we had our president, I don't even know if he was sure what was going on, because all you kept hearing, don't worry about it, it's gonna be okay, it's just overseas, it's not here. But it was reaching here, and it's like, okay, it's reaching here, it's serious, what's going on? My peers telling me about it, talking to friends and family, still hearing what's on the news, social media, and any other entertainment outlets out there. This is real. It's here. And this was last year, almost a year ago. Next thing you know, you can't be in the same space, especially in such huge populations. You have to wear your mask. You have to make sure you have your hand sanitizer. Wash your hands, which of course is something you should do normally, but you have to be more active with it because this thing is spreadable. You touch it, come across any kind of contact, access with it, spreadable. What's going on? Places shutting down. Everybody got to stay isolated at home. I was working full time and in the office 5 days a week, and thinking to myself, okay, what's going on? Everybody's trying to figure out how to do things. Everybody's working at home. At home. Okay, this is definitely not something normal. This is abnormal, totally. And didn't even know how to think about it. Honestly, how I felt, I was worried, scared, concerned, didn't know what to expect or what to think about the situation next. Like, what's going to happen? Is this what life is going to be about? How much worse is this thing going to get? And months go by, still, stuff is just getting out of control. Stuff is getting crazy. As you look around, people catching it, people getting sick. It's affecting loved ones and friends and family that we all know. So this is something that's not just a one-man thing. This is all over the world. And it's really been taking a huge toll. Even though thoughts may have came like, oh, it's probably something similar, like when we had the other illnesses that came across in the country, where we had Ebola and we had the Legionnaires. And I'm not saying those weren't serious, but this is way more serious than that. We're talking about this pandemic. And the pandemic was not only making people sick, but it was actually taking people out. And that right there was traumatizing. And it still is. Because it's like, it don't matter who it is. It can affect any and every one. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, like this is insane. This is crazy. Like, this thing is just not going away. It's not doing anything different, but just getting worse. As you see, it's affecting everything. It's not just affecting, parts of the world, it's affecting the whole world. To the point things is closing down. Retail stores shutting down. You can't even be around people like you used to. You can't go to events, host events. Let me mention, you can't even be with your family and friends to have celebrations, to have gatherings, to do normal things you used to do. I would enjoy doing certain things with my family, having holiday dinners and everything, all of us together. Can't do that now because you're not supposed to be in a space with everybody, no more than 10 people, as far as I remember. And I remember when I used to go to parties all the time with my friends, because I used to love going out to party a lot. Party, go out drinking, hanging out, mingling, socializing, even going to regular meetup groups and doing things. You can't do that now. If you do things, you gotta do it with a few people. Me, I just can't sit in the house. Even though sitting in the house is okay, but when you're used to getting out and going out, like me, I like to go sightseeing. I like to get out. I like to get around the city. I like to even go different places. Not saying you can't do it. Just gotta do it with certain people. Maybe a person you've always been around, that one particular person, or the very few people that you hang out with, you can only do certain things with. And it's like, wow, can't even go out like I used to. Because everything closed, especially things at night. Things close at a certain time, curfew and everything. This is what we doing now. You would never think this would be, but this is what it is. And it's like, wow, this is the situation we in. And when I think about it, going back to retail stores, you can't even shop the way you used to. Stores is closing. Like, for an example, I used to always go to Century 21 and shop with my friends, meet up right in Manhattan. Now we're closer to the Century 21, which is one of the headquarters. Shut down. Even before they even was closing, I saw they was on their way. They said store closing, final sale clearance. Thinking to myself, like, what? Not this store. Wow. And other chains, other stores. What's going on? The economy is just changing. I was there not too long ago, last week. Closed. It's over. It's a wrap. Online. And it's cool to shop online because I like to shop online. Online is good. You get your stuff. You see what you like. You purchase everything. The only thing you got to think about now is shipping. Shipping, it may be good if things move right, because I know when I bought a few things and had stuff shipped, there's been some situations with delays, not receiving your package. I remember I ordered this t-shirt. I didn't receive it probably about a month ago. Come on. That's the reality. I mean, yeah, we understand it takes time for shipping because everybody's ordering, but certain times of the year is rough. If you're going to have holidays, the end of the year, the beginning of the year, it's like, come on. I mean, it's okay if it takes 2-3 weeks with the time allotted. It's all right. It's understandable. But when it's taking a month over a month, it's like, wow, this is crazy. This is what it is now. This is hectic. And you know how some of us women, we love to shop. And what crossed my mind too, the fact that since we love to shop, I'm just saying, for instance, you see an outfit that you really like, and you want to just try it on just to see how good you look in it, or make sure you look good so you can wear that outfit out either that day or whatever you trying to plan your next event or wherever you going or what you trying to do. You want to make sure your outfit looks good. You can't even try on that outfit because you can't go to the fitting room because the store is not open. You're shopping online. It's a good thing, but hopefully you know your size and what exactly you're going to purchase, because returns can be rough. Returns could be a real hectic pain. I remember from working in retail back in the days, having to do purchasing, exchanges, and returns. That can be crazy and that can be rough. All I can say is that shipping with the post office and all these other shipment carriers is going to be crazy. It's going to be literally hectic. It's going to be loaded. It's going to be compact, crowded with people doing shipping, exchanging merchandise, returning merchandise. It's going to be crazy because everything is going to be online. It's like, what's this going to be? A virtual world? Don't know. But when I think about it also, you can't even eat in some of the restaurants. You have to take out, order online, drive through. And I remember back in the days when I used to go out to eat a lot, even with friends, and even going to some places when I used to go on dates. You can't even do that. Some restaurants that I even used to go on dates on, they're not even open. It's like, what's going on? Everything is changing. And it's like, what do you do in this case? And it's just so crazy how this pandemic has affected everyone, everywhere. It's not a national thing. It's not local. It's a worldwide thing. And all I can say is that the impact it's had, it just shows how serious this thing really is. We don't know how long it's going to last. We don't know if it's going to go away, which I don't think is really going to go away. Literally, it's just getting it under control because it's already here, and it's something that we're dealing with. It's just something that exists. And speaking of vaccine, I don't even know what to think of that, because it's like you have to make a choice if you want to do it because you want to make sure that you don't risk your life in spite of this. So you got to think of either being healthy and alive. It's hard to say. I say for someone who loves to get out and do things, to travel, explore, sometimes you got to think about what is best. I'm not saying it's a good thing, and this pandemic has really affected, I could say, myself, my friends and family, my loved ones. And I know it's happening to everyone. All of us is going through this. We all have situations. This is happening to every one of us. We all are in this together. But we have to work through this to get through this together as a whole, as a society. Because everyone needs somebody. Everyone needs each other. Even though right now we're somewhat being unintentionally or in some ways divided, but at the end of the day, everyone needs somebody with a helping hand, because we're going through this all together. This is something that we're all dealing with. This is a worldwide, universal thing here. And I can't even think of what would be after this is over. What is the post history or the trauma or the effects it will leave? Because at the end of the day, it will be different around here. Things will most definitely not be the same. Things are going to be totally different with society. It's going to be us trying to pick up the pieces, trying to get everything back in order, trying to get stuff back together financially, in the economy. I mean, it's just going to be a serious financial situation. It's going to be a financial hit because everyone is suffering financially. So what I can say, job loss, unemployment rapidly growing, it makes me think that from being interested in history, because I like history, because it teaches you a lot. And that's what I love about history. You learn a lot from history. And what I like about it is that it tells you what your past, at least from your roots, was, to know your present in order to have an idea of what your future will be. And this is similar to some things that has occurred in the past, where I've heard that even though I wasn't around or here when the Spanish swine flu, or maybe the swine flu has occurred, and that has affected society so much. And then there was a Great Depression that affected our economy, and then not so long ago we had a recession. And the recession was nuts, because I remember that time, and that was depressing, because being able to try to be mentally, physically, and emotionally capable to be strong enough to get through the changes, to go through whatever's happening in society, you got to think about, okay, the job market. Now you got to think about, okay, finding work, surviving. I remember when I had to do what I could to make sure I found work by doing temporary jobs. And it's a good thing to do that, because you can build your skills, learn something, and it develops you as a person. But now when I'm thinking about our economy, is this something that we're going to be going through again? Because this is already affecting us, and it's going to affect us even more. We don't even know what is next, because it's all right. A lot of business is not operating. A lot of them have closed down, filed bankruptcy, are actually now switched over to being just strictly online. Now, what are you going to do with your job or jobs? In regards to finding jobs, like you used to be able to find jobs, that's not the same anymore. It's like, what do you do? But only hope for the best, wish for the best, hope that we get through this, that things get better, that our economy improves, even though it won't. I don't think it'll be the same. I don't know if we'll feel like the way things used to be before this, or I could say pre-pandemic. I don't know. But this is crazy what we've been through. This is serious. And society has been really been switching and just been going through a lot. And I could say last year, 2020, was mind-boggling and insane. And I'm going to make another video about some things on that. But it was just crazy. Even though this pandemic technically started 2019, we just didn't know anything about it, or probably it wasn't something that was pretty much just spreading or rapidly out just yet, at least over here. But just hearing it was just crazy, traumatic, because just to think that I would never think that I would see something like this in my entire life, and this is what this is. But at the same time, thinking back in history, I'm sure some of our ancestors and forefathers and our elders and all of them may have thought the same thing. Like, we never thought we'll live through seeing something like this in our life. So, as I've been told many times, history repeats itself. And some things that happens, it's similar to what has occurred before our time, or a different situation similar to what's happened before our time. It's just crazy, guys. I just hope that the things I'm saying, it can relate to you. You guys can understand and, agree to whatever the things I've mentioned about what's been happening, and knowing that we're not alone. We're all together. We're all in this. And we're going to get through this. Because at the end of the day, this is something that should and hopefully bring us together as a unity, as a human race, as a people. Because this is affecting any and everyone. Not just one person, not just one nation, not just one side of the world, not one economy, the world. This is deep, guys. And hopefully you stay tuned. I'll be making another video. Not particularly about this, but another branch of things that's been going on, because it's a lot. But I hope you enjoyed, and have a good rest of the day. Bye.